young artists from Artist Proof Studio in Johannesburg, South Africa, rose to the call to make these works to inspire action against the ever-growing climate crisis and to ensure an environmentally sustainable recovery in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. Here, a few of them tell their stories behind the works, how climate change and other environmental issues are impacting their communities, and their visions for a green renewal. Their calls for urgent and meaningful climate action through these artworks should not, and indeed cannot, be ignored.
My name is Jason Langa. I'm an artist from the south of Johannesburg. I'm currently studying at Artist Proof Studio. Basically, like in the artwork, there's like a feet, like it represents all of us as human beings. Beneath the feet, it's not like the normal color, but I made it green as a reference term, greener footprint, because that's like an umbrella term for habits and actions which we can use to better use the effect that we have in terms of climate change. So those actions include using water sparingly, using renewable energy, and recycling, amongst other things. As much as we all suffer climate change, we don't suffer it the same way. Our main issue, some of them being water shortages and things like hurricanes. There are people actually on the ground trying to better the situation. With our willpower and with our manpower, we can actually start doing things in a more efficient way. I made the feet actually moving forward as an impulse for us to start improving the way we treat the planet. My name is Businespeople. I took the picture from next to my place where I'm staying in Orlando. So in that place, you will find that there is a shack there. It's a small place where you find people like it's a squatter camp place. I saw that people are staying in the environment. It's a place where people must not stay. That's the concept, talking about the climate change. While I was looking at the pictures, I find some interesting view. The title of that picture, I call it Nomzamo Park. And in that place, you find that they are struggling with the electricity. And those people, they are staying next to the factory. You find that they are inhaling that smoke there. In the dams, we are not cleaning enough our space. You're telling the story of Soweto, how people are struggling, how people are suffering.
My name is Ramon Eli. I'm from Eldorado Park in Johannesburg. The article speaks about it in what conditions, in South Africa, they can't face what conditions and they end up dying in. There's no resource to keep them cool into love, and it's not like there's no hospital and not enough doctors to take care of them. They end up dying in the heat because of it. Like the color that I've used is a warm color. It's also a negative color which represents danger, as we are in danger because of climate change, and the heat is increasing by the day, and climate change will increase rapidly if we don't take care of the world.
My name is Kubulethu Nguni. I stay in Alberton. I'm 21 years old and I study here at Artist Proof Studio. With my artwork here, I created two figures, a small girl on the side and another figure, a lady carrying an umbrella, but then carrying it upside down. I'm trying to show on how I suggested. I thought maybe it would be a good idea. How about we use it upside down, and instead of just letting the rain drip by itself, how about we save some of the water, and also we're using that, putting it in the Jojo tank. I thought it would be a really great idea. Recently now we've seen, for example, Canon, they've been in crisis with water. How about we save water for ourselves? For days that have been tough times, like, when you don't have water, we can use the water from the Jojo. I created that silhouette myself to make it as if I start making the change, then other people can join me. How can we make our art, not just look at it and be like, oh, that's a really nice art, but then to think deeply about it, and also for us to see as a way of how can it change, how can it change climate change.
I'm Cynthia Dinimisifa, and I was born in the DRC Congo.
When I came in South Africa, it was when I was 8 or 9 years old. The similarity between how climate change has affected South Africa and also Congo is mainly of the economy. For example, the agriculture, the jobs, and also the health of the people around. I personally know the differences
of like these environments and how they're affected. My response to the climate change was basically putting this flooding and these issues in a very nicely lavish looking home. So for me, putting all of these things in a fancy home was how would you feel if this was in your space? And like the leaders that don't really get to live the lives of some of the people who live in like hard communities where they are directly affected by climate change. So I introduced a little bit more of like the cosmetic industry, those that still sell plastic that are not recyclable. So I realized that it's still a big problem because of the gas and the chemicals that it releases over time that we don't see directly that affects the environment, but later on it does affect our health. You start to realize that not a lot of people know what climate change is or like the effects or the impacts of that in that particular community. That's where art for me comes in.
Name is Vugile. I was born in Soweto, worked there. These artworks of mine, I just want them to be something which will really make people wake up to see where we are going if we do not take the drastic steps for change. I think when you look in those artworks, you see that there is no more life. It is part of the concept that I'm doing this year, which speaks about the universe and how we relate with the universe, especially as an African child. We were told the stories, we would hear our elders telling us. It's one of the Xhosa idioms which we use. This idiom simply means it's hopeless. Now we know that things are getting messy in our environment, but we still have a chance to change all that before we say it is too late. But now this idiom, I wanted it to be irrelevant with how I created this work, which was an almost empty bucket where I put soil, took a picture, and then a little bit of water, took a picture. My father was born at Idujwa, which is on the Eastern Cape. When you go there, you find that mostly that place is barren now, it's dry, because the rain does not fall as it used to. There's this problem with the drought there, and now the rivers can no longer sustain them. We still have a problem with dirty air, polluted air. I remember I used to have asthma when I used to grow up, and here in South Africa we rely heavily on coal. Our behavior is the one that is going to drive us to this catastrophic end. We have the governments which can create change, but sometimes when you look at this change, it's like it's very slow. It's very slow.
My name is Instill, and I come from the real era in KZN. I moved here in Johannesburg, where I found that they are teaching us. On the second, I'm trying to say that when we don't care about the land that we live in, we just care about ourselves. Yes, we are destroying the world that we live in because we don't pay attention to plants. We don't see the beauty of flowers and the difference of flowers. It's very interesting to know, like, they're also living, and then they have everything that we also have. They grow like us, and then blossom when it's time. They also need clean water as us. Plants are very important because there are plants who heal people like aloe. Aloe, when you're sick, you use aloe to get better. And then when we destroy them, it's like we are destroying our medicine. Many people, they don't even know like names of our flowers in South Africa. We don't have flowers we can be proud of. And then say these flowers are from where I come from. Everything has a story behind in it. So if we don't take care of our plants, like we're destroying where you come from and then where we're going.
My name is Samkelo Gola. I was born in Soweto. With my artwork, I'm actually like paying tribute to my grandmom because like I was raised in the Eastern Cape. So mostly my work, it focuses on the culture part. So in this work that I've made for climate change, I'm actually talking about scarcity of water. So what I'm trying to say is that the climate change is affecting us in different ways. Because like we facing these unpredictable events. So in this work, a human figure that is wearing like a cultural clothes, which I'm representing myself, like, and the blanket is also for a protection. The head is having like a windmill head. I'm kind of saying like through these like difficulties we are facing of the climate change, like we can create ways on how to solve them.
My name is Budumelele Toko. I'm a visual fine artist currently residing in Soweto. My work, Kushushu 2, is a Xhosa word which means it is hot. Mainly focuses on the basis of the extreme heat wave that increases each year. And this causes drought, and with drought causes the lack of food growing proper. In my neighborhood, I can see how climate change actually affects the people. There's so many people cramped up into one small space. The whole place, it's just really polluted. I feel like climate change really affects that area the most because when summer comes and it rains, they are the people that are flooded because their houses are not even structured well, and the place just turns into a turmoil. With that being, you can tell that the climate change crisis is getting even worse because now our government does not take climate change crisis that serious. That is the problem. We don't take action as soon as possible to save the earth because I feel that in time it might have gone even worse than we expected it would be. Citizens as well should take part into saving the earth. And this is the earth that we live on, and we wouldn't want to harm it with climate change and intensive heat even more and make us suffer. That's what I actually fear.
My name is Tusevo Landu. I was born in the DRC. I came to South Africa when I was 9 years old, and I'm currently doing my third year at Artist Proof Studio. We have been experiencing extreme weather here in Africa and some parts of the world in the past decade. This includes tornado. Back 2011, we had our tornado in the Friskin, whereby 2 people lost their life and 200 injured, and more than 1,000 shack and house were damaged. We can eliminate some of the anthropogenic causes, like those like the leading cause of climate changes, which will benefit everyone.
My name is Dumisang Kalipo. I'm a Johannesburg-based artist. I'm a photographer and a visual artist. For me, creating this work, I was looking at how the loss of animals during this course of chemical pollutions happens. I was trying actually to capture around a home loss for these animals and the water pollution. I think for us to take care of our planet is to take more precautions on our health, on or how are we actually have to deal with the climate change or the water pollution.